Hi, you've got to realize that your biggest motivator has got to be your future. And not just your future, but the components that make up the future life that you want. The components that make up your dream, right? Because chances are you're not living your dream right now. You're watching a 17-year-old talk behind a screen on your phone right now. You're not living your dream, bro. Let's face it. In your future, your dream is somewhere out there, like in the future. And so you have to realize, like, everything that you do has, number one, it's got to align to that because it's your dream and no one else's, and no one's going to make it happen for you except for you. That's just the honest truth. Number two, you've got to realize, like, it's got to be your biggest, like, the biggest factor in which, like, the reason why you got up in the morning. Your motivator has got to be your future self. Because another thing is, chances are you're not the person that can handle your dream yet. If we were just to, like, snap a finger right now and give you everything you've ever wanted, you probably won't even be the person that could handle that. You'd probably, like, throw it all away in, like, within a year, bro. Let's say you won $1 million, right? We snap our fingers. We give you, like, $100 million. But you don't have the skill or, like, whatever it takes. You're not the person that can handle it, right? And you're definitely not the person that has earned it. And so when you realize that you have to treat your future, your dream, like, it's not just gonna happen for you. Like, you have to become the person that can actually handle it, the person that actually deserves it, and the person that is, like, willing to, like, work for it now so that you can have it in the future. And you realize, like, you can become that person now. Like, you won't ever be able to live your dream life knowing that you're the same person as you are now, because when you think of your future, man, you think of a different person. You 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line, you're thinking of a completely different person that has it, like, all figured out, right? Maybe not all figured out, but you expect yourself to have a higher level of maturity, decision making. You expect yourself to be at a higher level than you are now. Naturally you will be, because as humans and as time goes on, we naturally evolve, we learn, we adapt. But you don't realize how much control that you have over the person that you are right now, and how just simply asking yourself, what would future me do in this situation? What would version 2 of me do in this situation? What would me at 80 years old think, wear? What clothes would he wear? What things would he say? What perspective would he have on the situation that I'm in right now? You realize you don't have to be that person to pretend to be that person and still make the decisions that they would. If I think of myself, like, personally, I think of myself like I'm not very wise at all. I have nothing in life figured out. I barely have overcome any adversity in my life. But if I just think to myself, what would 80-year-old me do in this situation? Right? I go to this social event. I go to, like, church or whatever. I embarrass myself in some way. I say something stupid, whatever. If I was 80 years old, bro, I wouldn't really care. There's this, like, I don't know, there's these people that I want to impress. There's these people that I want to like me. If I'm 80 years old, bro, looking back at this situation when I'm 80, I won't really care. What would I care about? It's going to be vastly different. What would your dream life look like when you're 80? What would he think about the goals that you have now? I think it's really interesting because we don't have to be that person to, like, have that perspective and, like, ask ourselves what they would think, because inside we already know, right? Not necessarily know, but the fact that you can guess will put you miles ahead of the decision that your dumbass brain makes right now. I'm literally talking to myself right now. I need to hear this more than anyone, bro. You have to realize you need to treat your future self like a king. Like majesty, bro. Because when I'm 5-10 years down the line, I want to be able to look at me right now, this dumb 17-year-old with nothing figured out in life, and be able to thank him anyway because he put himself out there to fail and figure things out. Because when you treat your future self like majesty, like royalty, you'll naturally put yourself in a position to where, okay, I'm going to put myself in a position to fail more. I'm going to chase my fears more. I'm going to educate myself more. Meet new people, learn from more people, because I'm not doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for the results that I want now. Everything that I do, it's going to be for me years down the line. And I want him to be able to look back at me now and say, like, bro, I'm proud of you, even though you don't have everything figured out, even though you're pretty stupid, and I can't lie, I didn't like you back then. Thank you, because you brought me here. Take a look at you whenever, like, say you go to the gym, you want to build an aesthetic physique, you want to be built like a Greek god, right? Like you have this drive inside you. You go to the gym, hit a PR, tear your muscles down, lift heavy weights, like you literally break yourself down and feel genuine like physical pain and like mental exertion so that your future self can have something that you don't have but you want. And you know that sooner or later you will be your future self, bro. And when you are your future self, you'll be able to look yourself in the mirror, look yourself in the eyes. That's the hardest thing to do, by the way. You'll be able to look yourself in the eyes and actually say like, damn, I did this. And it wasn't me, it was him back there. He did this for me. He gave this to me as a gift. Now that's how you build self-love. That's why you have no self-love, bro. Because how much comfort, how much have you really sacrificed for your future self? Barely anything. In fact, you've stolen from him. Don't worry, I have too. We all have. You've stolen so much from your future self, bro. You go to bed late at night, you steal energy from your future self. That's just one example of it. You tell a lie that you have to deal with later. You take so much from your future self, bro. You rob so much from your future self. So number one, like, forgive yourself for that. Because that's how you got to move on, develop that relationship with yourself. But also, it's about time we start like actually locking in and treating ourselves like treating our future self. Because you don't deserve anything, but he does. You don't deserve anything, bro. But if you want it for yourself, you've got to want it for him first. And you got to stop thinking of your future self like a completely different person. Like a totally different person that's so far away. Because sooner or later, you're going to be them. And by the time you're them, do you want to be able to look back at yourself and sulk and be like, bro, what are you doing? Lock in. Or are you going to be able to look back and say like, thank you. I want to be grateful for my future, for my past self, man. I want to be able to say thank you. I think that's such a beautiful thing, to be able to sacrifice comfort now so that your future self can actually look back and like be proud of you. And then thank you. And you're giving a gift to him. Like, that's how you develop a relationship with someone that isn't you, right? That's how you develop a relationship with someone, but you never bother to develop that relationship with yourself. And then you ask people like, bro, why don't I like myself? Why don't I feel like I deserve self-respect? Why do I have such a low self-esteem? Maybe it's because you keep stealing, lying, robbing yourself, your future self, taking and taking and taking, and you never consider what to give them. You never consider like actually treating them with respect. You think treating yourself with respect is eating like more chocolate, watching 8 hours of Netflix a day? I need a break, guys. I need a break from work. No. Real self-respect, real self-love is feeling pain, conquering fear, going through adversity so that your future self has something to thank you for. You don't have to have it all figured out now, but that's not the point. Your future self, like, you have so much that you can do right now that you can thank yourself for in the future. And you don't even realize that. Even just choose one thing. Like, pack your bag the night before so that you don't have to pack it the next day. Plan your schedule the day before so that you don't have to worry about what you're going to do the next day. Little things like that, that's self-love, bro. And no one takes into, like, discipline, bro. Have some discipline. Discipline is self-love. When will that sink in for you? I know that when it finally does, you'll start to feel better about yourself. And you're going to be like, hey, this random YouTuber I watched one day knew what he was talking about. And that's just one way to love yourself. That's pretty much the only way that I figured out. I'm sure there's many other ways, but if there's any other way, you let me know. But I've gone from really hating myself to finally feeling an ounce of self-respect for myself. And I want that for you too. So as always, I have a free Telegram. It's the first link in the description. If you want to hear more from me and like raw ideas and unedited like advice or like lessons that I pick up throughout my daily life, it's all there, completely free. I think you'll find it useful. And as always, if you want to hear more from a 17-year-old trying to figure out life, subscribe. It's a win-win for both of us. Get after it. Oh.